Hello, scholars, and welcome to writing. Today is session 13, which is titled Revision Happens Throughout the Writing Process. Excuse me. Mostly today is just going to be a work day. We're going to be thinking about everything that we have learned about our writing process and about how to become a good and successful writer. We're going to be thinking about that. And then if you want to add on to your story because you think, oh, yep, that's what I'm missing, you can do that. If you want to start a new story, you can do that as well. So, just a reminder that we grow as writers by adding to what we already know about good writing and reviewing what we have learned as we go. So, today we're going to be reviewing what we have learned throughout our writing unit. We've learned a lot, scholars. So give yourself a pat on the back. I have been reading through my classes writing, and I am seriously impressed. And I love meeting with you guys to talk about your writing. Just wonderful. Today we're going to review what we have already learned and use it to continue our awesome writing. So again, today you can choose to add on to your story or start a new small moment story. Remember, our stories we want to have between 10 minutes and a half an hour. I don't want to know about your whole vacation. That would be too long. I just want to know 10 minutes to a half an hour. If you can make 10 minutes to a half an hour and write a page on it, that's like the ultimate small moment story goal. So, what have we learned so far? What have we learned so far about good writing? Thinking in your head, what's one thing that I learned about good writing? And what can we use to help guide us if we forgot what we learned? How can you make your writing better today? So, scholars, we've learned so much that sometimes I think that it's great to have this list at your disposal, which means while you're writing, you can look back at this list and say, hey, what am I missing? So remember, to find a true story, you want to look for a lot of ideas that are focused and important to you. And then you want to write lots of entries. So I know that that's been a little bit frustrating for some of us because you keep saying, Mrs. Alverson, I've had to write this story over and over again. Well, that's the point. The more you write, the better you become as a writer. So that's the first thing we do is we find a focused, important story. And then we make a mental movie of what happened, telling it in small detail, bit by bit, including the actions and the dialogue, which is the people that are talking. Scholars, I've noticed that when I meet with you, and we meet for about 10 minutes, and we read your story, and then I say, well, tell me a little bit more about this, you can always pull out way more details. So pretend like you're meeting with your teacher. Pretend like you're explaining it to a sibling. What details would you want to include? Remember your self assessment of your narrative writing and your goals. So that's that checklist that we had many lessons ago. I'm going to include it on today's assignment so you can look back at the checklist. Then you need to rehearse for your writing by storytelling the story repeatedly. Tell it over and over and over again. That's how you're going to make it really good. And then remember, try different leads for your story. Action, dialogue, and my favorite is when you guys use action or dialogue and then you flash back. That's my favorite part. And then you need to write a flash draft, writing fast and furious, eyes on the mental movie. So once you've told your story a few times, you've played it in your head a few times, then you need to write it fast and furious, not even really thinking about spelling or handwriting. You just need to get it all down on the paper with as many details as you can. Today we're just going to continue writing. Use what we have already learned to make your writing great. If you are having a little bit of trouble, I'm going to leave it on this slide so that you can look back and say, okay, this is what I need to do in order to make my writing better today. All right, scholars, I'm so proud of all the writing work that you have done. It's not like writing that you've ever done before at Nova. I've seen a lot of writing, and I'm very, very proud of you. So keep up the amazing work.